Women's basketball, a sport that has grown remarkably in the past several years, including a league that has grown with it. The Women's American Basketball Association, a league of opportunity for anyone with a love for the game. Players who want to continue their playing careers and coaches who want their own team are welcome here. Got a passion for basketball but not on the court? Not a problem. There's affordable ownership for any sports-minded entrepreneur. Visit WABA's website, womensaba.com. WABA, it's our time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rob Hill from the media department of the WABA.
Yeah,
and
boy.
Today, on the phone, I have the owner of the Cleveland Blaze, Mr. Cornelius Bogard. Cornelius, what's up, man?
Hey, Rob, how are you? Thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah, man. And thank you, man, for calling in, especially on short notice. So without further ado, I got a lot to talk to you about. But what I want to do is always go from the beginning. And what I mean by that, I like to ask all my guests, when and where did your love of basketball first begin?
Well, basketball for myself is quite an emotional period of time that happened for me. At the age of, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. Those who were familiar with Cleveland, Kinsman area, Kinsman East 116. So I spent my first 5 years of my life in Cleveland Public School District. And at that time, the 6th year occurred when my father was diagnosed with cancer. That's when we actually ended up moving. But we, at that time, there wasn't basketball hoops in the area for youth of my age. We didn't have them in our backyards. But we did experiment with crates. So, that was kind of fun. A little different style of basketball at that time with the bricks and rocks all in the street. But then when he was diagnosed with cancer, he moved us out of the inner city and moved us to a city called University Heights. And what's the chances of there being a basketball court and rim and backboard attached to the garage? He actually ended up passing away 6 months or so after we moved there. So to deal with some of the emotional stress, of course, you would go out in the backyard all night, all day, and we just started hooping. Just the memories of how my dad helped me by bringing basketball into my life. And once that started, it was the days of course, those of us who play basketball are familiar with, shoveling the snow off the ground, letting the court dry, going to play. When the rain is going down, we're in the backyard playing basketball. After school, we're in the backyard playing basketball. And I was just kind of fortunate enough to be a 3-sport athlete. And throughout high school, ended up being a 2-sport athlete and continued on. So basketball really became, a part of my life at a young age because I had something to go to. Being the second oldest of seven with no father because of his ailment that took him away from us. But it helped me a lot in life. So that's where my passion and my love for basketball started.
Wow. And let's take it back to your high school days. So you say you were a 2-sport athlete. What was those 2 sports? And tell us about that experience.
Well, actually 3. As a freshman, I came in football, basketball, and baseball as a freshman in high school. Cleveland Heights High School was one of the top high schools in the area as far as the basketball activity itself. So we had a different kind of atmosphere there where players at that time weren't shared, and that was kind of a negative at times. Became a big time negative for some players, but it allowed me, at least as a freshman, to come in and participate in 3 sports, and then as a sophomore, 2 sports. Ended up as a junior and a senior, just actually playing football in high school, but actually still play basketball throughout my whole life. So.
Wow. So after your high school days, what did you do with the sports? Did you continue to play sports, or you went to a different direction, or what? What happened after high school?
After high school, I still continued to play basketball. And actually, I played some semi-pro football after high school. During the high school period of time, I met my wife, which today we're still together. 29 years we've been together, and married 21 years. We have 5 kids. All of them are grown. We have one left playing college football right now. He's the last one. So we've, with athletic piece myself, all my kids actually started playing, and I started coaching. So it's been from day one. It never left being part of my life. So it's just, from then we just continued to grow in athletics, and now being an owner of a team as well as the head coach too. I've got to put that out there, the head coach of the women's team, but we actually have the men's side as well. Just the owner of the men's. So
okay. My apologies. I forgot you. And I want to jump into that. Okay, so let's walk me through the process of you just getting involved in owning the team at all, because I'm assuming that the man team came first before the female team. So take us through the process of you just coming up with the idea, deciding to pursue it, and how did that even all come about?
Well, Rob, it's ironic the way things happen, and I always put God first and let you know He's in control, and He put things in perspective and put it there when it's time. I actually started off coaching CYO girls basketball, as well as if you go into the Little League youth football. So I actually started coaching kids very, very, very little. So I worked my way through the reins of actually starting with CYO girls basketball, coaching my daughter, Amber Bogard. She's actually a player on the team, and of course, part owner of the Blaze as well. She was a cheerleader to start, 5'9", 5'8", 5'10", and a 6th grade cheerleader. So she would herky, she would clear her whole sideline. It was kind of funny. And she comes to us one day and she says, "Well, Dad, I want to play basketball." And me and my wife, she said Dad and Mom, me and my wife looked at each other and we just kind of laughed and said, "Girl, you play basketball, you're a cheerleader." So ultimately, in the 6th grade, she went in and started participating at CYO level, and I joined the staff of the CYO team, and we went from CYO to AAU summer basketball, travel basketball, the 7th grade, the 8th grade, being assistant coach on the staff, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, also to being a head coach myself a couple years ago at Cleveland Central Catholic High School, to now being an owner of a team. And I think, Rob, the process of learning the do's and the don'ts. I won't say the wrongs and the rights, but the do's and the don'ts of athletics when it comes to the parents, the administration, the staff, kind of led me to say, you know what, I really believe being an owner, I would be able to help and make change and bring more enlightenment, bring more light, more shine on the women's game to help out, because I really think it's really deprived of where it should be. So, being an owner is really exciting because I've been doing it for, right now it's going on 2 sports I've been doing for 18 years year round. Girls basketball, I've been 17 years year round. So now I'm really tied into being involved year round as being an owner. So the excitement and just the drive and just the passion and just the love of the game, it's continued to help me grow, of course, as an owner, of course, spiritually involved in the game, mentally around, and then socially with the community itself to help build and develop a good team here in Cleveland.
So, okay, you got to walk us through this. So the male team came first, the Cleveland Blaze male team. Is that an ABA team?
No, actually they didn't. The female team actually came first.
Really?
We by me being so connected community-wise on the women's side, I've watched tons of recreational games going around right now. I was actually invited to coach a developmental team, professional developmental team, and then kind of in that play, that position kind of opened up where I found the ABA, and they were looking for expansion teams and owners to participate and purchase a WABA team. So initially, we were going to have a male squad south of Cleveland, and just 2 hours away was just too much for me to actually be able to manage properly, and that's when we decided to keep the ABA, and they're actually the Cleveland Blazers, the ABA males team here in Cleveland, and WABA women's team here in Cleveland.
Oh, okay. So that's how it came out. So when did you first purchase become part of the WABA?
I don't remember the exact month, but this will be our first inaugural year as the WABA Cleveland Blaze women's professional basketball team. So we're really just getting it going now.
So now, have you guys set up a tryout yet? Or scheduled a tryout yet?
Yeah, it's an ironic fit of what we're doing here. The actual Cleveland Blaze women's basketball team is actually competitively playing right now. We've been in the gym actually since February. So, right, the excitement is setting itself up for the initial year to get going. So we we'll have we pretty much have our roster pretty close to being set here in the next month or so, complete.
Oh, okay. So which obviously mean that you already have a group of players that you was already familiar with.
Oh yeah.
So you okay.
Yeah.
So you are there any players that we should watch out, or any standout players that we should know about and give a heads up on?
Yeah, we have, our roster is pretty. We have a couple young ladies from Los Angeles, California. We have a couple. We're just the names. If I started throwing names out, people we have Andola George that's gonna probably come. Well, I don't want to throw names in completely until we actually solidify the roster. But you're looking at Andola George. You're looking at some Amber Bogard. We're looking at some Sherry Sessions. We're looking at some Letitia Walkers. We're looking at Jordan Peck. We're pretty, a lot of girls, all of our girls play Division I ball. A couple of them played overseas already, have experience playing overseas. They've been playing at the high levels all their lives. And our roster, average age of our roster would be right around 24, 25.
Okay.
Years of
age. Isn't your daughter a player?
Yes, my daughter's a player, Amber Bogard. Amber is 25. Yeah. She's a 6'1". She plays the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so she can play all positions.
Yes.
So, in your first year in the WABA, what are your expectations for the league? And more importantly, what are your expectations for your team?
Well, for the league overall, I want to just make sure I set a standard to show that the first thing first, we want to grow. And as a league, not just as a team, as a league, because we're only successful as a team if the league's successful. That's my biggest thing. So marketing, promotions at the league. And, even though all our teams are kind of different but the same, but I like to be on the same page as a league in general with all team owners. That the ultimate goal is the exposure, to grow the game on a positive and continue to growth. Because I just, for it to be a U.S. sport and to be more dominant overseas, and that's where you need to go play to be successful, I think is definitely backwards. So I think the WABA to start off all on the right foot and we all work together as a whole, I think it's beneficial. And for the Cleveland Blaze is that, I want young ladies to understand what it means to be successful as an athlete. And it all starts off with you, with them. You have to market yourself. You have to promote yourself. You have to be around the community. You have to be a part of the community. And just playing your role and playing a part is just like the start of the WNBA, but we're the WABA. You have to play your role. You have to do your part in it to grow. Just in that piece of it, being a male that's so intense about helping the women's game grow. I think I'll die coaching to help this game grow for our females. That's definitely true.
Wow, I love your commitment. And speaking of community, what do you want the Cleveland Blaze to mean to your Cleveland community?
We had this conversation actually yesterday, but a different form. And I'm a firm believer that behind all closed doors is a successful woman to create successful men. I want the Cleveland Blaze to help revive that successful woman type of initiative. I really want our young ladies, because we have young ladies that works with teen pregnancy. We have young ladies that work rape crisis centers. We have young ladies that's teachers. We have young ladies as mentors. And now, as we really grow it community-wide, then they can also say, I'm a professional basketball player. So there leaves no tables unturned for our community women to not be successful. We want to help. We want to, not only do they play basketball, they're actually part of the community. From graphic design, to models, to wherever you aspire, wherever you think you can go and grow, we want to play that role. We want to help you get there. And that's kind of our goal, not just basketball players, but playing basketball is just kind of the stage that we could use to help our community grow, get back to where we know we can be, and just use the stage of basketball as the hook, as we all know it.
That it can be, yes. And Cornelius, I want to thank you for your time. But before I let you go, can you please tell the listeners what's your website? Let them know if it's still under maintenance at this time, but whether it's under maintenance or not, they need to know what's your website and what are your social media.
We have clevelandblaze.com. That's our website. Social media, we're under Twitter. Right now, it's not a Cleveland-based Twitter. It's under Coach Bogard on the Twitter and Coach Bogard on Instagram. But for right now, you can definitely go to clevelandblaze.com and you'll see our entire website, and it's still building on it. I think it's pretty filled out for now, and then we'll be posting our roster and any other additional information here soon.
Okay. I want to thank you for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
Mr. Cornelius Bogard.